Hello.
Hello, darling. Ahora sí.
Yes. Welcome to 1014 Sesh. This is Kimberly.
This is Maria.
Yes, welcome back.
Yes.
So, Maria, how's your week been doing?
My week has been very good. I'm excited because it's almost Christmas time. We're gonna upload this episode most likely after Christmas, but we hope you had an amazing Christmas day with your family. Obviously, with the precautions due to COVID. So even though we are not able to celebrate as we used to, with all full family and friends, I hope you've had time to have joy this Christmas and be happy. Yay!
Feliz Navidad, mi gente.
Hueva!
Hueva.
Feliz Navidad! Ping, 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 ping. Feliz Navidad! Ping, 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 ping.
Yo.
But anyway, how was your week, Kimberly?
Wow.
Oh shit! Oh well,
yeah.
get it.
After 5 weeks not getting out of my house, so we went to pick up my baby brother from the airport, and on our way back home, BAM! We got hit. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to be laughing, but
Sound effects. Anyway.
exactly.
Well, thank God. We're actually okay. But yeah, my poor baby right now is in the auto shop. They might be doing inspections. It might be total loss, so that is all pending. But as of everything else, we're okay. So that's all that matters.
Yeah, I'm sorry you had to go through that experience, but the most important thing is that you and your family are good. You're healthy. You didn't have any major injuries, so
True. So we have our Anchor app, which tells us where in the world they've been listening to our podcast. And so we discovered we have a listener in Germany. So shout out to the people in Germany. Hi.
Yeah. Hey. We don't know who you are. We would love to hear from you. So if you're listening to this episode, please send us a message through Instagram or email us at 1014sesh@gmail.com. We will love to hear from you and to know, because we don't see you. But we would love to know who you are, how do you listen to us, how do you found us. So wherever you are, thank you so much.
Wait.
Dankeschön.
That's apparently thank you in German.
Whoa, girl. We're upgrading, y'all. Whoop, whoop. That's how we do up in here.
Okay.
And Kimberly, I think we also have another special fan that wrote us an email.
Yes, I'm going to read her email right now. Shout out to Leila Villanueva, my friend.
Hey, girlfriend.
So she wrote us an email saying, "Hi, Kim and Maria. I enjoyed listening to your first podcast. Congratulations to you both." She is a pediatric oncology nurse. Shout out to all the nurses right now. We appreciate all that you do.
Yes, we do.
And how she really appreciates the tips on mental health, that she thinks is a huge part of life that a lot of us may struggle, especially during this year. And how she found it very helpful to disconnect from work when she gets from home. But she actually loves to read thriller books and coloring adult books with a lot of curse words. I need that coloring book.
I would love to get one of those too. That sounds very interesting.
I think I saw them at Spencer's. So, yes. I've seen them before.
Spencer's.
Yes.
We don't have Spencer's anymore in Puerto Rico.
What?
I think we don't, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Jeez.
So her question that she would like to know, what would both of us recommend when it comes to losing a family member or someone you love? That sometimes it's hard to find the right words to say to the families that lose the loved one, especially when it's a child. And it's been weighing in her mind.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a deep question. That's something that's so hard to think of. Like, even your own family members, like, what do you say to that person when they lose someone, especially a child? Especially if you haven't had that experience, like, you don't know what it feels like. And it's so hard. I was telling Kimberly when she sent me the email and I read it, I was like, I was so amazed First of all, because one of our listeners actually wrote to us and she shared her experience,
Mm-hmm.
in her work. And so when I read that email, it filled my heart with joy.
I
Se me
feel
olvidó la
like
palabra.
at the end of the day, she felt that we had something in common.
Yeah.
So she felt like a relief that she's not the
Mm,
only one going through certain situations.
yeah.
So the fact that we actually mention and give tips, she felt very thankful.
Yeah.
And we felt thankful that she felt thankful. So,
Yeah. Yeah. In like I said to Kimmy, this is why we're doing this podcast because we want to share our experiences, what happened to us on a daily basis, and how we cope with things to help us
mm-hmm.
feel good and to be grateful and be joyful. So thank you. I know we already said thank you so many times, but thank you
I
to
know.
Layla. I really appreciate you. Now back to the question.
I know.
Um, yeah, it's so difficult. I was telling Kimberly, I actually told her about my experience when I lost my grandfather last year. It was something very hard. And I remember that even though it was a long time coming because he had Alzheimer's and also he had a stroke, and
Mm-hmm.
basically that's what led to his death. But it was something that even though we knew it was going to happen, you're not prepared to cope with the loss of a loved one. But I
Yeah.
do remember that while he was in the hospital, there were a couple of social workers and also the nurses that they will constantly be checking up on us, especially on my mom. They were all constantly telling them, I'm here for you, whatever you need. They will give us like information. Okay, so there's this group of people that they get together certain times of the day and they talk about their issues so you don't feel alone in this process, right? And also I remember, especially towards the end of my grandfather's death, that they will constantly be hugging my mom. They'll be like touching her arm, showing their respect and their support through touch, because
Yeah.
sometimes when you're talking and talking and saying, oh, I'm so sorry, like I feel you, like I'm there for you, sometimes it's better to show your
Yeah.
support
Through
through
actions.
actions. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I mean, again, I've never had that experience. I don't work in the hospital industry. I don't know what it's like to be constantly being watching people die, especially children.
Yeah.
So at least my opinion for her is to show family members your care with actions. Maybe it can
Mm-hmm.
be showing them gratitude or a prayer, even a group of prayers alongside your coworkers. Take time, share your time, your presence. I That's something that I think is very important and powerful through those processes. Like, for mí, vale más que tú me des tu tiempo, que saques un
Yeah.
tiempo de tu vida, de tu trabajo y me lo dediques a mí. That means so much, you know? Y like I said,
Yeah.
sometimes actions valen mucho más que just words. So I don't
Con
know if
eso que dijiste, I go thinking back when my grandmother died.
yeah,
También tenía, she also had Alzheimer's. She was in a nursing home in Orlando. And all of a sudden, we got a call at 4 in the morning that she just passed away.
right,
And like, they would not give further instructions, ni like how, nothing. So my mom just comes crying, and like, we were all in denial at the moment.
mm-hmm,
But the fact that nobody could give us further information was a moment, I don't know, it was just a weird feeling.
right,
And once we get there, like most of the nurses were just very straightforward,
right,
and we couldn't like really cope, and we were still in denial. And then we actually had to plan like a funeral in
mm-hmm,
order to identify the body
right,
in Orlando. And once we went to the nursing home, one of the nurses, which I think her name was Vanessa, so we were so grateful for her that she came to my mom and she told us, I don't know if I should say this, but before your mother died, she told my mom, she was grasping her hands in the air and saying how she was seeing angels.
Oh,
So, and she said a prayer to us, and she was like, know that she is resting in peace.
wow.
And we felt, like all of this that was like, in our heart aching, all of a sudden
Mm-hmm.
this peace.
Yeah.
And like you said, she took the time to tell us to feel our pain.
Yeah.
And for that, we were so grateful. So I totally, yeah, to Layla, I would so recommend just be there for the parents, for the family.
Mm-hmm.
Really take your time and like show that affection so they could feel that you are there for them,
Mm-hmm.
and just to make it easier for them.
Yeah.
That's all we can do, and through prayer, and yeah,
Yeah.
through our actions.
The key word here is presence. Just
Yes.
show presence and your love and support through actions. So I hope
Yeah.
what we said helped you. We would love to hear from you again. So yeah, thank you for listening, Layla. We love you very much.
Yay. Love you, girl, my homie. So the topic for this podcast is the end of year reflection of 2020.
Yeah.
Bam, bam.
Okay, guys. So we are very excited. I don't know about you, Kimi, but I'm very excited to do this podcast, this episode specifically. I started doing end of month reflections, I think the start of or mid 2019, but I decided to do it throughout 2020. And thank God for these end of month reflections because these have saved my life. I don't know what I would have done without journaling. So I'm very grateful. I've never done journaling before, but this year definitely journaling has impacted the way my mindfulness practice. It has expanded it. So I was talking to Kimberly and I told her about the idea to actually review our year, even though we know 2020 has been a crazy year, but we have to acknowledge that even though we've experienced lots of anxiety, scary moments throughout this year, we've also had awakenings. We've also had good
Yes.
things happen to us in this year, and we were like, okay, so let's sit down, read what we have written throughout this year, and see how we changed, embrace what were our intentions back in 2019 for 2020. And even though we know, hello, there are a couple of things we've never
Hello.
had the chance to do. We couldn't travel, of course, due to COVID. But even though we couldn't do most things we had planned this year, we've also learned to do different things and to learn new things. So we're excited to share this with you. So I'm very hyped, guys. It's gonna be very nice and emotional. Yes.
Yes.
So Kimberly, um, would you like to share your goals or intentions for 2020?
So I actually did like kind of like a vision board, and
Okay.
I would put it on my closet so I could see it every day.
Okay.
But then, yeah, COVID happened. But
Bitch.
after reading this, like I was telling Maria earlier, it made me realize, what the fuck have I been doing? Because I felt like most of these I could have done during the pandemic, or how do I say, like right now that I'm injured.
Right.
So one of my goals was to read 2 books a month. That didn't happen. I think I read 5 in total for the year.
That's good though. It's still good.
Yeah. So snap clap.
Not clap.
And to lose at least 30 pounds. Girl.
Girl.
I gained 30 pounds.
Girl.
Girl. The third one.
Yes, go ahead.
Go to places you've never been, even if it's around your area. Again. COVID. The next one. Find a job that'll make you happy and feel inspired. So I actually ended up quitting my job. So snap clap for that, because it was a toxic environment. So I took that move. I had taken this other job, but unfortunately it wasn't for me. So, but I know in the universe, that job that I actually know is going to inspire me and it's going to be for me, it's out there.
Yeah.
So, yes. The next one, learn an instrument. I have a guitar, guys. And I used to practice when I was younger, and now it's like blank. So that's one of the things I'm like, I could have practiced on that. There's so many YouTube
Yeah.
tutorials and things like that.
Hmm.
So, yes. I also put to sing again. I used to sing so much.
Hmm.
So I kind of had, but not as much as I used
Right.
to. The other one was find new music, which I've had big time.
Yes.
So I feel like that's one thing that I did accomplish. Um, the next one, go to Star Wars Galaxy
Oh
at Disney
Lordy.
Hollywood Studios. COVID,
Damn
pandemic.
you, COVID. You ruined our plans.
And then and also to go to a supernatural convention, which they've all been rescheduled, I think, for next year.
Mm,
So let's see, depending how everything
yeah.
flows. So yeah, and then the last one, focus on yourself, which
Girl.
I've had big
Yeah.
time, especially these past 3 months. So I'm proud of
Yeah.
myself for
Snap
that.
clap for that,
Yes.
girl. Snap clap.
Yes. So what have been your goals, Maria?
Okay, so I kind of changed the way I do my start of the year
Okay.
planning. I used to do goal planning, especially for 2019. I started doing like goals every month. Like, okay, I want to do this month. I want to do that this month. And at the beginning, it was good. It was nice. But then as time went by, when I saw I didn't accomplish those goals, I was feeling bad for myself. Like I was feeling lazy,
Mm-hmm.
or I was feeling being too hard on myself. Like why you didn't do this when you had free time and this and that.
Yeah.
So for 2020, I was like, fuck that shit. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do my goal plan, but it's gonna be more. It's gonna be focused on my feelings, on how I want to feel for 2020,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, so I wrote for 2020, I want to learn new things, learn more about myself, and to challenge myself. In a way, I think I did. I have learned lots of things, especially through astrology.
Mm-hmm.
Astrology has been something that I've always been interested, but I've never had the chance to actually immerse or take time to learn about it. And I have read. I don't know if you guys know about astrology, but we all have our birth chart, and I finally found my time of birth. That was the only thing I needed to complete my birth chart, and I found it, and I read it, and I don't know, like that helped me to understand myself more, to see what
Mm-hmm.
areas of my life are needs more work, or what are my strengths, my weaknesses. So I don't know, it has helped me to learn new things about myself and see what areas I can focus now on this month or in this season or whatnot. I wrote that I want to focus my energy on mindfulness and yoga. Definitely,
Nice.
yes.
Yes.
I can say that this year has been the year of mindfulness and yoga and meditation. I've been doing yoga for about 2 years, more or less. But this year, I've been practicing every day, every single day, at least 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. And I say that I'm very proud of myself because like I said, I'm very lazy sometimes. But thankfully, I've created this routine every morning after I drink my coffee, which is the most important thing in my day. My coffee, girl.
Yes.
I gotta
Coffee.
have my
Coffee.
coffee.
Coffee. Coffee.
After I drink my coffee, I go straight back to my room, and then I do yoga and meditate every day, every day, every day. And it has changed the way I don't know, como que it helps you welcome the day in a different light
Yeah, of
with
course. Mm-hmm.
positivity and hope and joy. So very proud of that.
Nice.
The other thing I wrote, which Kimberly knows, girl, you did good. You did good. I wrote I want to dance more. I wrote that I
Yes.
want to practice salsa and dance in heels. Yo, yeah, I've been dancing a lot.
Yeah.
Like I said on the first episode, I had an awakening, so I decided
Mm-hmm.
to dance more in my room. I've been watching YouTube videos, learning new choreographies, just dancing, for fun. And I also decided to record myself, which is something that I've never done, or at least done it, but not publish it on the social media. So this year I was,
¿Por
I don't know,
qué?
girl.
Sí, sí, sí,
Es que
sí.
me daba,
But you did it this year
yeah.
though. TikTok,
Yo,
y'all.
TikTok, I
Ooh.
know people hate TikTok. They can talk other shit they want about TikTok, but girl, I love it. I don't know, it's fun to share joy in a way. So
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. And I also wrote that I want to focus on my finances. I want to focus on finding my home. I want to move. Right now, I'm currently living in my parents' house, but I've been saving and trying to lower my debts because I want to buy my first home.
Yes,
I'm happy.
girl.
And the last thing that I think we all can relate, I wrote that I want to travel more. But obviously, we haven't traveled shit. Pandemic,
Pandemic.
y'all.
The
I actually have
pandemic.
planned this year to go to California, girl. I was actually going to
Yeah.
go to Galaxy's Edge on Disneyland in California.
Oh, okay.
And
Gotcha.
I paid everything. Everything
Pero.
was set because I work in the hotel industry and I got like free nights and then I got discount rates and I was so hyped. But
Mm-hmm.
bam, canceled. Yo, fuck. So
Pandemic. Yeah, according to what you were saying, so I loved your example like of journaling instead of like setting goals that you
yeah,
may not accomplish and then you're like, why did I
yeah.
do this? So I love that idea. And I remember, and I'm looking through it, I purchased like this planner slash
Hmm.
agenda. I don't know what the brand is. I bought it at Walgreens, but it has this very cool weekly like checklist, and it always says like to be kind, be patient, how small acts of kindness can make an impact in a
Hmm.
big way. Seeing more kindness in the world starts with you. I'm like,
Yes.
bam. And so it has this checklist to see if you actually did it every single day throughout the week. So the first one is encouraging yourself, connect with someone
Hmm.
positively, lend a helping hand, and breathe before reacting.
Girl.
That last one, so I wrote a note because the thing is, I'm an Aries fire
Hmm.
sign. Hello. So I tend to like wow instead of like
Yeah.
instead of like processing first and then I'm like, okay, what
Yeah.
can I do? So I even wrote this message for myself, like breathe before reacting. Be genuinely, don't get mad over any little thing. It's not your fault, it's not
Yeah.
their fault. Build that like fury inside of you for your voice for it to sound more confident rather than
Yeah.
shaky. Cause sometimes I feel like when you're trying to to say how you feel sometimes it might sound like you're screaming or shouting, but then sometimes you don't even have the words that your voice
Yeah.
starts shaking. Se te pone el nudo en la garganta
Hmm.
in a way. And you're just like, I thought about this
So many
conversation and
times.
why is it coming out like
Yeah.
this? I know. And I feel like it's not through practice or anything, it's really controlling your feelings and emotions
Yeah.
at the time. That's what's going to help you sound more confident and just really spread out or communicate what you
Yeah.
really want. So,
That's so important. Like same thing. I It's so important for us to actually pause and reflect, okay, like we said on the first episode, is what I'm gonna say gonna hurt someone? Is it gonna help someone?
mm-hmm.
If the answer is no, then don't say anything. Instead, if you wanna say something, try journaling. Literally, you can get a piece of paper. It
Yep.
doesn't have to be a notebook, whatever you got. If you have a napkin, you grab a napkin. Whatever you want to say, just write it down and say it to that. Say it imagining you're talking to that person.
I actually have on my old computer on my Google
Uh huh.
Documents. Whenever I would feel that I needed to have a conversation with a certain someone, but you just didn't want to like stir up the fire
Right.
even more. So I would just literally type everything,
Yeah.
and it's there, but at least like
Yeah.
I let it out, and it helps you so
Yes.
much taking all that way out, way down, and just be better.
Exactly. And that is, it also has to do a lot with forgiveness. Forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
Can
Can
you
you
imagine?
imagine?
Shout out to our Hamilton fans. Whoop whoop.
Now that you mentioned Hamilton, because I'm looking throughout the weeks of my journal
Yeah.
slash planner. In September 20, I even put a star and wrote, "Who
Who
lives,
tells
who
your
dies,
story,
who tells your
girl?
story." And that
Yes.
is from Hamilton. That always kind of shook me
Yeah.
because you learn history in the past how everyone got their shit together by their
Mm-hmm.
19, and then you feel like the certainty, like, oh, I need to get my
Right.
shit together. Or at the end of the day, based on what you do, your actions is how you're gonna
Literally.
live, basically, and leave your mark in this world. So I'm so happy for this
No.
podcast because, yeah, like if I die, this shit is gonna
Yeah.
be there, for the world. And who knows, it'll inspire them and they'll tell my
Literally.
story.
Girl, you
So,
said that, and I
yeah.
thought of so many songs that talk about that. And I'm trying to remember qué canción era, pero there's so many that I forgot. But it's so true that we have the power to choose what do we want to do in life in order for us
Mm-hmm.
to be either remembered or to leave a mark. And it doesn't have to be something big. You can
Exactly.
do, for example,
Yeah.
you can help a loved one go through a hard time. Someone that has depression, you can be
Mm-hmm.
there for that person. You can be their rock. You can be a mother. That could be your mark. There's so many things that people limit themselves, and even myself, whenever I read about trying to look for your purpose in life or try to look for your meaning in life, I will be like, yo, what's my purpose? I don't know what's my purpose. I don't know shit. But
I'm gonna help you with that. And a friend of mine told me this quote, and it was
yeah,
like a slap in the face. But after that, like I felt so inspired because back in the day, I would have multiple breakdowns
right.
because of that reason. I'm like, what is
Yeah.
my purpose in life? Why
Mm-hmm.
am I here? And this friend told me, Kim, you don't need to find your purpose because life is about creating yourself.
Wow.
Yes. And I just got goosebumps and I'm
Wow.
like, it is so true. You have to create yourself, and by creating yourself, you
That's
will
so
find your
true.
purpose.
Girl,
Yeah.
I'm like, I got goosebumps too. Shit, that's so beautiful.
Goosies.
That's true. And it's
Yes.
right, like we're constantly learning, right? We're always evolving, learning new things
Mm-hmm.
because we're searching for more, right? But then we forget, like,
Yeah.
we have the power. Like, you choose whatever you want to do in life, whatever fulfills you, whatever brings you joy. That's your purpose, right? It doesn't have to. You don't have to be
Yes.
a, a global speaker, or you don't have to be a president or someone quote unquote important to do quote unquote,
Quote
because we're all
unquote. Yeah.
important. You is
Mm-hmm.
kind. You is
Yeah.
smart. You is important.
It's, im- it's important.
Quote from The Help, right? The Help. By the way, I don't know if you guys knew, and 21st, that was on El lunes. So last Monday, there was a beautiful, beautiful event that went on in the stars. I don't know if you had the chance to see the conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter.
I actually went outside and it was a clear sky, pero
Nada.
no se veía nada.
Well,
Nada. I'm
I
like, oh
saw some. I
man.
mean, it wasn't a big thing. It was very small.
Yeah,
You
yeah, of
could see
course.
though the
Mm-hmm.
two stars very close to each other, and it was, even though it wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be, it was there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you believe in
Yeah.
astrology, if you're spiritual, like we are, um, that event represented something very beautiful, something very powerful. It represents change. We're constantly evolving as human beings, and many astrologers are talking that this is the start of the age of Aquarius, apparently. So, I'm
Oh.
not very I don't know too much of the ages of, like, age of Pisces or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
the main idea is that as of today, basically, we're gonna be seeing changes in our society. We're gonna be seeing changes in ourselves, the way we think, the way we react. We're gonna be more thoughtful, we're gonna be more mindful. And I can say that 2020, all around, I can definitely see, especially in social media, people are looking for more. People are looking for mindfulness. They're looking for
Yes.
peace and joy. And we're seeing more people knowing, okay, this is not good for me. This is not what I want. I don't want to be involved with this. This energy does not give me any good. So you're going to be seeing more people knowing what they want and actually acting upon it. So we hope that 2021 brings us that sense of purpose, that sense of peace. And
Yes.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say about the conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. It also started the Capricorn season, and it's also the winter solstice. So it was a very very magical day. And on
Yeah.
Capricorn,
Y si no me equivoco, también you could see the start of
uh-huh,
Bethlehem, de Belén, la estrella que también
yeah,
que for
yeah,
centuries no se veían. So it was like everything
oh
was
yeah.
aligning in a way.
I can I have I
So
don't know if
yeah,
you guys
very
experienced it,
powerful.
but in my case, I did feel peace in a way. I felt like, okay, I'm good. Like I'm where I'm supposed to be. I am grateful. This week I've been focusing on gratitude a lot. Every day I say thank you for every little thing, even for the running water I have in my house. I say thank you because I have clean water. Thank you because
Yes.
I have food. Thank you because of my friendships, my Kimi, my
Mm-hmm.
co-host. She's amazing. Thank you for her. Oh, oh girl, go got your teacher, girl. Your tears. But anyway, back to I was gonna say Capricorn. This season, especially, is the end of the year, last month of the year. So it's a very
Yeah.
special point of the year because we get to reflect, which is what we're gonna do today, and we get to review. Okay, what
Yes.
energies we don't want to have for 2021, and what things we do want to keep for 2021. So nothing. Basically, this season, this month is gonna help us. If you're searching for more, if you're searching for purpose, if you're searching for enlightenment, this is the time to just sit down, grab a pen and paper, and write down your feelings,
Yeah.
write down your desires. What do you want to manifest in your life? It's a very important thing. And you're gonna see the more you do this every day, it's not gonna be easy at the beginning because it's a little bit weird at the beginning. But if you keep trying it every day, you're gonna see the difference, and you're gonna be more
Mm-hmm.
grounded, more mindful, and you're gonna see the difference. So, yes.
So Maria here, she sent me a podcast a few days ago. It's from Yoga Girl, Conversations from the Heart,
Yes.
which she did an end of the year podcast episode, like a reflection with questions and everything, and like
Uh huh.
truly how to process 2020. And it
Yeah.
actually helped us, and hopefully it could help you as well.
Yeah. We're not gonna do the whole episode
Yeah.
from the because it's a long one, but we are gonna be asking ourselves the one of the main questions that impacted us in the
Mm-hmm.
podcast. So if you're listening, we hope that you're joining us. So if you have a pen and paper, you can write down your answers, and if you're willing, you can let us know what you wrote, or whatever you want to say to us. You can send us a comment on Instagram, DM on Instagram, or an email. We will gladly like to hear from you and
Yes.
your reflections, of course.
And even in our link on Instagram, I think it goes directly to our anchor system. You could leave a
Right.
voice message, and that could be included in the podcast as well.
Exactly. So you
Yes.
can actually be featured in our next
Yes.
episode. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk to us. Okay, so we are very unsure what we're going to talk about first. So let me start by saying or asking, in 2020, dot dot dot. In 2020, how do you felt, Kimberly, throughout the whole year? Like, what was your main feeling or main emotion throughout the year?
I mean, throughout the year, like in the beginning, I would just say fear, confusion.
Yeah.
But then later on, it was like a breakthrough. So I just ended up feeling more of a thankfulness and grateful and acceptance
Yeah.
of everything that's happening right now.
In my case, in 2020, I learned to be kinder to myself. I learned to trust my judgment, to trust my inner guidance, to let go of expectations. Definitely learned that the hard way. I let go of people that don't, not that they don't deserve to be in my life, but they don't want to be. You know that there's that feeling that you want to talk to someone and they just don't give you the time of day, and you keep trying. They just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I learned to just, you know what, even though this person is nice and I would love to get to know that person, if that person does not give you the time of day, you thank the person and let them go. They're not meant for you.
Yes.
So I learned that. Oh, I also learned recently, actually, I learned to let go of self judgment,
Yes.
to not judge myself by my actions or my thoughts.
Yeah, one of the questions as well was like, what did 2020 teach you? And I think it goes more, more or less same.
Yeah,
But I had written patience and courage, like my true friends, like you said,
yeah.
because after this pandemic, I feel like certain people just walked away from your life, and
Mm-hmm.
certain people you actually became closer. So it's like you never know. And then, in a way, it teach me about my beliefs. So no, it was like a
Mm-hmm.
rediscovery,
Yeah.
and I just felt very at the beginning like insecure of what my future would be, but just staying hopeful of what's to come, and like not get over into my head too much.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually teach me how much I used to complain. And
We
it's
all do. We all do.
yeah, and especially now how much I took for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would be more towards what I'm grateful for. That was another of the questions.
Yeah.
And in the podcast for the yoga girl, she recommended to start each sentence to with the word thank you.
Yeah.
So I wrote thank you for my house, and my family that we didn't get COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you that I'm able to pay my bills.
Yeah.
I even put thank you for my main listener, Maria.
Oh, that's me, y'all.
Yes. I'm like, thank you to Netflix, Disney Plus, and everything for the entertainment for this year. Because if
Hamilton,
not,
thank you.
yes, because if not, we would have been crazy. Um, Also, thank you to my other friends. Like I said, reconnecting with old friends. It's crazy how you can be yourself with certain people and you never realize. So, yes. And thank you to God and everything for allowing me to do this podcast, to be more
Yeah.
spiritual and more accepting.
Yeah. That's beautiful, girl. In my case, 2020 taught me that change is always constant.
Yes.
Change is always gonna be there no matter what. In my case, this year, obviously, COVID changed our lives completely, but also at work, there was a main change in management, and it changed a lot of things that kept me motivated to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a change of mindset, like, okay, so this is my new reality at work. No, do I like this? Do I want to stay here? What do I want in my life in the future? So that event taught me that, you know what, there's always going to be change no matter what. You're never
Mm-hmm.
prepared for change. So it's better instead to accept, welcome change with love and kindness and an open
Yes.
heart. So
Yes.
that's the main lesson I learned. And regarding my gratitude, I wrote, I am grateful for hardships and heartaches. They have taught me how to react and what things or thoughts to avoid in order to feel happy again. So
Yes.
sometimes in life, we are always, like you said, complaining. For example, we always
Mm-hmm.
complain, "Oh, this happened to me. Why am I like this? Why doesn't he like me? Why am I single? Why this? Why that?" But
Yes.
if we don't get to appreciate, you know what? Maybe this was a blessing in disguise. Maybe the reason why I'm alone is because I need to keep learning about myself. And thankfully, this time of pause due to COVID,
Mm-hmm.
at least for us, we've been forced to be more mindful with our thoughts, our actions. So it has helped me a lot to focus more, even more on myself. Because I've been starting doing my mindfulness journey since a couple of years ago, but this year specifically has been like awakening. So I'm grateful for that. I also wrote that I'm grateful for gratitude. So I'm grateful for being
Yes.
grateful. It has helped me to ground myself and to focus on the little things that makes my life so precious. So
Yes.
I was also telling Kimberly, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie About Time. It's in Netflix. It's like a rom-com. Sale, Rachel McAdams.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that movie is very cheesy in a way. It's very rom-com, but it's so beautiful because it teaches you the beauty of time. That time you have with your family, your friends, and the main thing. I'm not gonna go through the main topic of the movie, but basically, the guy, he gets to travel back in time. So whenever something happens and he didn't like it, he can change the outcome, right? But then towards the ending, he finds out, you know what? Instead of changing my day, let me just relive it. So
Mm-hmm.
that way he's more grateful. He's more attentive to the small details. So I
Yeah.
started doing that every evening before going to bed. I say thanks to God for my day, but I do like a mental flashback. Like
Mm-hmm.
since I wake up, thank you for this. Thank you for this food that I ate today. It was so delicious. Thank you for the great day I had at work. Thank you for this conversation I had with Kimberly or with my sister, even whatever
Mm-hmm.
happened to me. And I do like a mental flashback, and then I'm like, okay, thank you for being alive. And then I go to bed. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, like I had fun. It was like, even though I may have some bad moments in my day, I had these other good moments in my day too. So
Yes.
that helped me be more grateful.
No.
Also, like Kimberly, I'm thankful for music. Thankful for all the new music I've been listening this year, especially folk music and very alternative indie songs. I've loved that so much. It's like a soundtrack to my life. I don't know if you feel like that.
Nice. Yes.
Yes. I am also thankful for my cats because they're like my babies. My cats are my company and they're so cute. So I'm thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also thankful for this podcast because I never thought I was gonna do this
Yes.
ever. And what a surprise that Kimberly here, my friend from high school, we were like, girl, we're in the same mindset. Like, let's just share our positivity
Yes.
with the world. So this is something very special for us. We don't know what to
Yep.
expect, but we're hoping the
Mm-hmm.
best. So I'm grateful for this opportunity to share positivity and good vibes with you guys.
Same.
Yes. Oh
Yes.
my God, I'm a cry. I'm a cry, people.
One of the questions as well was biggest moment of the
Oof.
year.
Okay.
For me, it was growing spiritually and learning about forgiveness. And
Forgiveness.
can you
Jen,
imagine?
forgiveness.
About forgiveness. Last week, I had spoken to Maria because I every day do this devotional guide,
Uh-huh.
and there was a question that I had to keep going through it. So I'm gonna talk about a little bit about that experience.
Girl ahead, girl. We got time.
So, yeah, the question itself, the devotional guide, was taking an example of the relationship between Peter and Jesus, how they eventually restored that relationship. So, the main question was, what relationships in your life need forgiveness and restoration?
Mm-hmm.
What steps can you take this week to seek healing in those relationships? So, at the beginning, I was like, I feel like I'm good with everyone. Like,
Mm,
who do I need to forgive? Or like deep down, I'm not a person that hold grudges or anything.
mm-hmm.
I just like let everything flow. So I couldn't really write down an answer to that. So I closed the book, but then deep down, something was like, go back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I reread the question. And then I noticed certain friendships or relationships that didn't really have that closure. So I decided to write each and all of their names first. And then I realized certain friends, like I was the one that did wrong. And I deserve, in a way, their silence. Because I was focused on some other things, you know.
Yeah.
But again, that's life. We sometimes tend to focus more on ourselves, and we can grow apart of each other, and that's
Mm-hmm.
totally fine.
Yep.
One in particular, I gave the most attention to, you know, would always put them first instead of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then I even wrote, in a way, that's my own fault to let it get there in the first place.
Right.
And that's when I was like, okay. And I closed the book again. And I'm about to go to sleep. And then my body was like, nope, read that question again. It was crazy. I even got goosebumps now. It's like, what relationships in your life need forgiveness and restoration? And I kept looking at the question. And then I was like, yeah, I can forgive, back and forth. And that's when it hit me. Can you forgive yourself?
Bam! Bam, girl.
Yes. And that's when I just started crying. And I even wrote, like, I need to learn more about forgiveness. And, you know, it's like we must be willing to admit our own failures and
Mm-hmm.
to extend grace in the failures of others.
Yeah.
That's what I wrote to myself.
Wow.
But yeah, I ended up forgiving myself. And for those other friends, if you're listening, like, I forgive you. Like, if I ever loved you or really cared about you, and you know, some time of my life, I still do. I
Yeah.
still support you,
Mm-hmm.
even though, yeah, we may not talk every day or see each other. I'm still supporting you from afar.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a big awakening for me, and it was forgiveness towards myself.
Girl. Snap clap.
Yes.
Snap clap to that. That's so powerful. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I was telling Kimberly that sometimes in those reflecting moments, forgiveness, okay, you automatically think, oh, I forgive this person, I forgive that person, but you're not thinking, wait a minute, have I done wrong? Have I done something that I need
Mm-hmm.
forgiveness? Even myself. So yeah, we
Yeah.
forget to be kind to ourselves, to forgive. Forgiveness is such a powerful thing because it gives you the strength to move on, you know?
Exactly.
So you don't even need to be reciprocated, that forgiveness, that you can forgive someone without telling them that you're forgiving them.
Yeah.
So, and I was telling Kimberly, yo, it's so important to write things down. For example, if you want to
Yes.
forgive someone, or if you're doing a forgiveness meditation or ritual, whatever you do in your mindfulness practice, I have found that it's so powerful when you write things down and you're thinking, for example, I will say this as an example. You're thinking of your
Mm-hmm.
ex example, right? And you think of all the wrong things that that person did to you and that you did to them, etc. You picture that person in your mind, and then you think of all the things you want to say to that person, and you say them in your mind or you write it down. After you have done that, imagine them showing them love. Imagine
Yeah.
them hugging them, with with a bright light or pink color, like rose quartz for your crystal
Mm-hmm.
lovers. um, and then say, "I forgive you." In your
Yeah.
mind, you don't even have to call that person and say, "Yo, I forgive you." Like, they're not gonna care. Basically, the most important
Yeah.
thing is yourself. Like, you need to feel good with your actions. If you feel good forgiving the person, you do it, and that's it. You carry on. Don't do it expecting the other person to say something to you back. Because
Yeah.
after you have forgiven that person, whatever that person do or doesn't, that's on them. You did your
Yeah.
part. You forgave that person in your heart. If it's meant to be, that person's gonna go back to your life. That's what I
Yes.
always say. If someone is meant to be in your life, they're gonna show you with actions, not words, with actions.
No, I even wrote at the end, very big on my workbook, First comes acceptance,
Yep.
second, understanding, and third, letting go.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's the hard part, to let go.
Yep.
It's so hard to let
Yep.
go. But this is just a process. Like, the important thing is that you start small, and little
Yep.
by little, trust me, you're gonna be able to be, you know what? I'm okay. If they don't want to be in my life, I let them go. Because we don't own anybody. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever they do or don't do, it's on them. So yeah, I feel you, because sometimes I have felt kind of guilty sometimes that I have not dedicated my time to my friends. At the same time, you're like, okay, but they don't talk me back. They don't say hi to me either. They don't tell me, hey, Maria, let's go hang out. Like, I'm the one that's
Yeah.
constantly asking them, yo, let's hang out, or yo, let's go to the movie or whatever. And then you start feeling guilty, like, am I doing something wrong?
No.
Am I being too friendly? Am I being not friendly enough or whatever? But then you start thinking, you know what? Like I said before, I have done my best. I have done my approach to be open to that person. But if they don't do it back to me, it's okay.
Yeah, I was just about to mention to you like two questions. I'm gonna combine them because they more or less relate towards that.
Yeah,
And it's like what hurt.
right.
And she had mentioned seeing people true colors.
Yeah.
And it's true. I feel like we sometimes have expectations of others because we're willing to do that for them.
Mm-hmm.
And what it actually reveals is that one-sided relationships aren't good. It has to be 50-50, you know?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So don't feel guilty, girl.
Yeah.
We're all in this together.
Yeah. The important thing is to do your best. Like, you know you did good. You know you're 100% to show that person that you're there for them. Ahora está la bola en su cancha if they want to do the same to you. If they don't, that's okay.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean they hate you or that they don't
Yeah.
appreciate you. It means that they're on a
Mm-hmm.
different path. They're
Exactly.
focusing on their stuff. They're
Shit. We were an explicit podcast, girl.
Esto es
No
un
shit.
esto es un explicit mindfulness podcast, okay? Hello.
Yes.
Ahí está.
Hello.
So yeah, when you acknowledge that, ahí es cuando tú puedes let go. You know, cuando tú te das
Yeah.
cuenta, sabes que I did my best y ahora ya se lo dejo al universo, se lo dejo a Dios que sea lo que realmente me convenga a mí. Ahí es que tú te das
Mm-hmm.
cuenta, you know what? I can let go. And I have the power. Yes, I got the power. Oh shit.
Yes, she's got the power.
Oh shit.
Yo, we need to start recording this
No,
shit.
we will love for you.
Like physically, because we'll be doing dances or like face expressions. That's why whenever you hear us laugh, we're laughing at each other. Guys.
Hopefully in 2021 we can figure out a way, because you guys know that we're
Yes.
living 10,014 miles apart. So she's in Miami. I'm in Puerto Rico. Yeah, so we're trying to figure out how to do this.
Bueno, hopefully, which I actually gonna write that down as one of my intentions for the new year. I could travel to Puerto Rico and we could do like a special, you know, 10 for 10 Sesh together.
Girl, that'd be so amazing, like a reunion.
Yes. Oh,
I think,
happy reunion.
well, I think the last time we saw each other fue para el 2019, para el crucero en noviembre.
Yeah, it was November.
Yeah.
Yep.
We went on a cruise my family and myself, we went on a cruise for a week and we landed on Miami. I think it was
Welcome to Miami.
Yes. Huepa. I think it was the last day of the trip.
Yes. And I surprised these bitches with our other friend, Dani, because she was in Texas and I flew her ass to Miami and we went to see the Jonas Brothers. And I remember I was blocking you guys from all of my Instagram and
What
shit. Because yes, I wanted it to be a surprise, a mini high school reunion. And so I'm texting Maria's sister, Mayra, And I'm like, yeah, just tell me where you guys are staying at, whatever. And then, like, yeah, that day we all met at the hotel and we went to Bayside Marketplace and it was just so much fun. And we went to a Miami Heat game.
Yes.
So,
That was
yes, even though your sister fell asleep,
yo, I gotta say,
you guys were
I was
tired,
tired too. I was falling
Bendita.
asleep too, but I was like, wake up, because I'm in the fucking NBA, okay? So I have to see this game.
Yes.
No entiendo nada, pero I'm here. I have to see it.
No, and it's crazy. I've been living here that I saw you guys. So, well, that time it was what, 9 or 10 years now. Yeah, and I have always seen every Miami Heat game, but I've never been in
Mira para allá.
person. So that was my actually first physical Miami Heat game as well.
Wow.
And yeah, because every single time I would try to plan with someone, come que pichea, and like I never dared really go by myself.
Yeah.
So like that was for me a first experience, and I was like a little girl. You could ask these people. I was like, ee! And like,
Sound
like
effects.
squealing all the time. Yes. Like when they would miss the ball or something, I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I was there, really there.
She was living it. She was living it.
Yes.
Ay, mi madre. So that,
And it was such a memorable day for me, and I will never forget.
Yeah.
And of course, having you guys.
and
so
you met
beautiful.
Mateo, my sobrino,
I know.
my nephew. He was still he's still a
That's cute.
baby, but he had like a year, I guess. Sí, tiene un año y medio. He's a
Yeah.
little baby boy.
Yeah, I think your sister and Efrain hates me because that's when I bought him the baby shark toy.
Ay, sabrás que todavía funciona ese baby shark, right?
Oh.
He loves baby shark.
That's when baby shark was the shit.
It still is, kind of.
But no, like that was the year that it would break
Eso
through,
sí.
that everyone was really
That's
obsessed
true.
with.
Ahora le gusta Cocomelon, okay?
That I've always seen it on the tops for Netflix.
Yo.
I'm like, what the hell is
Yo quisiera saber quién fue
Cocomelon?
el cabrón que se inventó esa mierda. Porque it's so fucking annoying. That show is annoying as F. And then
Just by the cover, I'm like, what the fuck is
I
this
mean,
shit?
it's a nice show because they mostly sing, and
Okay.
obviously it's educational. But for us adults, it's so boring because other shows they're more high, they're more funny, or they have more like hip songs. But those are like A B C E.
Oh,
Yo,
him.
fuck, so fucking boring. But he loves it, so we have to watch it.
Yo.
Okay, so next question, girl.
What was the biggest moment of the
Oh.
year?
So in my case, the biggest thing that happened to me is that I got to spend more time with my family. And it's very it's a little bit ironic
Nice.
because due to COVID, most people couldn't see their families too much. But I'm thankful that
Mm-hmm.
I'm living with my parents. So I spent quarantine with my parents, and my sister, she constantly was visiting with my sobrino. So I don't know, como que I've always been close with my family, but this year specifically,
Mhm.
I've been actually giving my attention to them, like giving my time and to actually be present. Because sometimes when I'm in the living room with my parents, I was constantly on the phone watching
Mhm.
YouTube or whatever, scrolling through Instagram, and I wasn't present. But then I was,
Yeah.
what? Whenever I am with my family, I will leave my phone in my room, literally in my room, or hidden somewhere, and I will be present.
I have my shit in silent, so
Me
I
too.
wouldn't realize.
I always have my phone in silent mode. I never have it like in ringtone.
Es más, yo creo que la única que tengo, because I think you can set that up, is for your messages, because I know it has to be for the
Yeah.
podcast or ideas. But yeah, everyone else, sorry, not sorry. I kind
Yeah.
of like just, I'll answer when I answer, okay?
Yeah, because sometimes I mean we like we've been saying, we put so much pressure on ourselves, and we're like, no, que me escribió este, no, que si me envió este mensaje, que aquello lo otro.
I was really bad with
Yeah.
that actually last
Yeah.
year. So I'm actually grateful for that this year, because back in the day, if someone didn't respond to me within 3 or 5 minutes, I will freak the hell out. And my anxiety would go up the
Yeah.
roof. Oh my God, I did something wrong. Oh my God, I asked the wrong question. I would start overthinking really, really bad. Instead of just listen, they're probably busy, they're working, I never thought of the actual possibilities, but just focus on what could
Yo,
go wrong. And that was
Kimberly, have you
crazy.
seen the movie Amelie? No?
No, I started it, pero me quedé
That
dormida.
movie is so beautiful. Es en francés, but it's a
Yeah,
beautiful.
I think that's like.
It's a beautiful, beautiful movie. But anyway, hay una escena de Amelie que ella le
Mhm.
envía una carta or something to her loved one, a su crush.
Uh-huh.
Y entonces cuando ella ve que el crush no llega a tiempo, ella empieza a hacer una película y ella dice,
Yep,
ella empieza,
literal.
no, eso quiere decir que lo raptaron, después se fue para tal país, se volvió comunista, después aquello, una explosión, literal, una película, y después she's like heartbroken. So yeah, like I feel you, it has happened to me too. Y yo dije, ¿sabes qué? Para el carajo, no, no, no. Cuando estoy con mi familia, I'll leave my phone away. Whoever
Mm-hmm.
texts me, I'll text you when I text you. Como tú dijiste, I'll text you when I text you, like, how you weave.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for that. And also, cuando la gente me está hablando, por ejemplo, tú, ahora que we're talking to each other,
Mm-hmm.
I have my phone away. I try to avoid having distractions as much as possible. Because
Yeah.
a mí me gusta cuando yo estoy hablando, la gente me dé su atención. Your attention, give me.
Yeah, you're actually
Exactly.
listening.
So,
And that for me is
yeah.
disrespectful. Like you knowing them they're like doing something else or
Yeah.
whatever. And
Yeah.
yeah. Like no. I'm like you. I prefer like to stay in the conversation. Or like if I got a message I would even let them know. I'm like, oh, este cabrón me texteó.
Exacto.
which
Yeah.
you know.
Thought that.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically I'm learning to actually be present, and if I want people to show me their presence, then I will do the same to the other person. So that's something that
Yeah.
that happened in 2020. Yes. Next question, girl.
The first one will be, what are you leaving
Oh yes.
behind? I'm leaving behind my old self. I'm leaving behind fear. I'm leaving behind setting others' needs before myself. I'm leaving behind saying no.
Girl.
And it's weird because, yeah, back in the day, I would just always wanted to be in my own space in a way and not to be around with many people. But literally, I was just being depressed as hell. So whenever someone asks me out or let's do this or that, I'm gonna say yes. And I feel like saying yes could open to more opportunities or getting to know more
Right.
people. And that's how you basically
Yeah.
live. So that's what I'm leaving behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
In my case, I think I'm in the opposite realm of that. Yes.
You're the opposite.
I have to learn to say no. I have to learn to say no. Because, I mean, I think we were talking about this for the topic ideas about
Yeah.
saying yes, but also learn how to say no. When to say no. Because saying yes, like you said, it opens yourself to more opportunities and to leave your comfort zone, which is so important. There's a saying that there's a life ahead of you right after you leave your comfort zone. Your life starts when you start being confident and let go fears, basically. But at the same time, you have to learn that not everything that appears to you is good for you. So you have to sit down and analyze, okay, is going to be something positive in my life? Do this action align with my intention? Because that's something that I'm trying to apply this end of year. Like, do my actions reflect my intentions? Am I doing something that is not aligning with my soul purpose? And if it is, what is it? Or what can I do to not do it again? So I'm learning that. So in my case, it would be say no in order to say yes to other things in life that are better for me, to discern what's good and what's not good for me.
The next and last question was, what are you taking with you? Boom, boom. To 2021.
Definitely my mindfulness practice. I think this is something that hopefully it will save me for the rest of my life. And I don't want to sound cheesy, but it's true. It's like mindfulness has changed the way I see life, the way I perceive things that happen to me, the way I react to things, and yoga, meditation, and journaling, especially journaling. That's something that I've never done before. And this year, like I said, it has helped me a lot to ground myself and to calm my thoughts and my everything. My everything. And I'm going to be taking my knowledge of astrology and crystals. I'm learning about that. And I want to keep learning more in 2021 and see how can I implement crystals and astrology to my day-to-day life. How about you, Kimberly? What are you going to be taking towards 2021?
Well, I had wrote first, I'm taking courage. I'm letting all fear go away. I'm taking my meditation practices that I've never done before, and it's something that I keep looking forward to keep doing. Also, like my spiritual growth, positivity, being good and doing good, to saying yes more. Also, the whole forgiving myself process, to always remember that. And I love the quote that the yoga girl mentions, like, while we process, we don't have to relive again. So I'm actually want to keep that in practice throughout 2021. So we could feel good and always, be aware of our surroundings and everything. And also my last one, which is a big thing, to be aware of what I deserve. Because another quote, you deserve to feel the same love that you give. And so I feel deep down, we need to embrace ourselves, be aware that, what you deserve, and don't take shit from anybody, honey.
I love that. I think I'm going to take that too in 2020. To not accept less.
Exactly.
At least for me. Don't settle for less. Like, you know your own worth. Wait for someone that appreciates your worth.
Yes.
And shows you with actions, not words.
Exactly. Bam.
Like I said in the beginning of the podcast, I've been doing a workbook based on the zodiac signs. So obviously we're in Capricorn season. And part of this workbook that I'm doing, they give us lessons that we can learn from each season, right? So in Capricorn, I'm gonna tell you 4 lessons, right? One of them is the best way to release something is to remove your attention from it. So that's so self-explanatory. Second lesson, your energy is waiting for your direction. You have the power to do whatever you want in life. You can change the way you feel, you think with just a snap.
Yeah, that's when I came up to the whole fear and courage. Because our own mind plays tricks and excuses, and we're really capable of anything. Once you set your mind to and never give up, you're willing to do anything.
That's true. The third lesson, success shows up as joy.
Yes.
And that's something that resonates with purpose. We talked about earlier in this episode. Success doesn't have to be something incredible, like being rich or having a great job. Success can be being joyful, being happy, being healthy, being mindful. Anything that brings you joy is success.
Exactly.
And the last lesson is time alone brings out the answers you already know.
That is so true.
Yes. So I hope this and everything that we just said helped you. I hope you are reflecting with us. If you have written down the questions or if you're interested in listening to the full podcast from the Daily Yoga Girl, I think podcast.
It's Yoga Girl Conversations with the Heart.
For the Heart, yes. So if you're interested, you can do the full episode. I strongly recommend it. But we basically did a summary of the best questions in our opinion and how we've changed and whatnot. I want to say something else.
Nothing in general. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate.
Yeah.
Also, may this new year bring so many blessings to all of us. I know we deserve it,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like all of us we actually did a lot of growing.
Yeah.
So hopefully we take all of this that we learned from 2020 and to prosper for 2021.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. So our fourth episode is gonna be very special as well because hopefully we'll air it by January 1st or
Yes.
nearby New Year's. So
Yeah.
we're in order to celebrate New Year's, we're gonna be talking about setting intention for the new year. We're also gonna be talking about new moon meditations and rituals, and also full moon meditation and rituals. That if you're interested, hopefully you can join us for the next episode. And like Kimberly said, we wish you the best for the next year. We hope you have a great time with your family, and that Santa Claus give you so many presents and you have so much fun with your family and friends. And stay safe. Yeah. So let's wrap it up.
I'm Kimberly.
I am Maria.
And remember, stay positive and be kind to yourself.